Hi, I'm from BDITDomain, and we are actually giving a different videos and teachings for Selenium and Java. So today's session is all about access modifiers. So what are the different access modifiers we have, and where do we use these access modifiers? We're also going to see few examples for the access modifiers. So usually we have a four different kinds of access modifiers. If we see here, we can see private, default, protected, and public. So private access modifier is a modifier. It before private, let us go with the public. Public is a kind of a global access modifier. Usually we define methods and the variables by using the access modifiers, even the classes also. For example, any method or any variable declared as a public, it has a access everywhere. It can be accessed from within the class, outside of the class, within the package, and even outside of the package. That's how public access modifier will work. And coming to private, when you just create any variable or a method as private, so it will not be able to access outside of the class. Definitely, you should only access within the class alone. So it cannot be accessed outside of the class. So that is definitely private to that particular class itself. And coming to default. So the default access modifier, for example, if you are not defining any access modifier, like you are not defining private, protected, or a public. So it is called as a default access modifier. So maybe it is not there in the class, but indirectly it is a default access modifier. And this default access modifier is only we can use within the package and it cannot be accessed outside of the package. If you do not specify, as I said, if you do not specify anything, by default it is called as a default access modifier. I'm again saying it is only having the access within the package alone. Comes to protected. Protected is also likely to be like a default. But the one more feature here for protected is if we have a child class, when we extend the protected classes into another package child class, so that means inheritance when there is an inheritance from one class to another class, and those two classes are in different packages. So that's what it is saying. Package outside of the package, you can also access outside of the package through child class. And if you don't have any child class, any inheritance is not there, then you cannot able to access anything of protected variables or methods outside of the package. Within the package, it can be accessed. Coming to public, we already spoke about public. It is global, everywhere within the within the class, outside of the class, within the package, and even outside of the package also, we can able to access. And we do have a non-access modifiers also, such as static, abstract, synchronized, native, volatile. So we have a different kinds of non-access modifiers as well. So if you see this particular tabular column, so which will give us the clear understanding about how the access modifiers and the access to that. Like if you see private within the class, but within the package, no. Outside of the package by subclass also no, means the child class. Outside the package, definitely no. So private only within the class. Coming to default, yes, within the class, even within the package, but outside of the package by the subclass means by using the child class, definitely no. Then outside of the package also no. Coming to protected, protected definitely within the class, within the package, and with outside of the package also can be accessed, but by using the subclass. And outside of the package, definitely no. And coming to public, everywhere. As I said, so globally can be used. Let us see few examples for this access modifiers. One is first private. As I said, when we declare anything as a private, mainly the methods and variables, when we declare it as a private, you cannot access outside of the class. We have a class called A here. We have a class called A here. Inside the class, we have one private variable and one private method also. The private variable declared to 40 and the private method is returning hello Java. Like, it is just printing hello. Now I'm trying to access this private variable and method outside of the class. In the public class simple, we are trying to access these two variable and the method. But when I create an object, obviously I should create an object because that is not a static one. So when I'm trying to create an object, yes, it is being created. Now by using that object reference, I'm calling the variable. Actually, we can call the methods and variables by using the object reference of the class. So after creating the object reference here, I'm trying to access the variable and the method, but it is giving me compile time error. As I said, you cannot access any of the variables or the methods which is declared as a private outside of the class. So that's the reason we are getting compile type error. Coming to default. So default we know only within the package. Now if we see, there is a class A with method MSG. The message was returning hello in the console. And I'm trying to get this method of message outside of the package. It's a different package. That is a pack package. This is a my pack package. When I am trying to access one package class inside method into the another class, so I must create an object. Obviously, I have created an object here for class A, and I'm trying to call the method, but it is giving me compile time error because we all know default access modifier will give access only within the package. But as it is two different packages, I am trying to access one package method inside another package. So obviously it is giving me error. Coming to protected. The protected, as I spoke earlier, protected have a ability. Actually, it is restricted to within the package alone. But if we have a child class, so if we have a child class, we can able to access even protected methods outside of the package also. If we see here, pack is one into one package and my package in another package. And we have some protected method over there and it is returning hello. And we are creating an object here. After creating an object, we are trying to call, so we are able to print hello. Hello. So we are creating for a child class. Obviously, you can able to access the method from parent class also. That's what is happening. You can able to, because there is an inheritance here. The inheritance is nothing but the classes, the methods which is under a class, and when we are extending one class to another class, the parent class methods you can able to utilize in the child class, right? So this is how protected will work. And we are declared a public here, public method, and even the variable also you can declare as a public. And as I said, public can be accessed within the class, outside of the class, within the package, even outside of the package also. So in that case, I'm trying to access methods from class A, which is in different package, to class B, which is in different package. So it is I'm able to access those methods and I can able to print. And we are also having Java access modifiers with method overloading concept. So if we are overloading any method, overriding method, so must not be more restrictive. So if it is any restrictions are applied for this, so you cannot actually do the method overriding. So that is what you can see here. Class A is having a protected method, and in another class we are extending the classes. So obviously, protected can be utilized here, but it is throwing a when we create an object for a simple, and when we are calling it here itself, it is giving some compile time error. So the default modifier is more restrictive than protected. So that's why there is a compile time error. Okay, because we are calling the protected method inside a default method. So means we are trying to override this MSG from class A to class simple. So as it is not working, overriding is not working. So definitely, as I said, it is more restricted. Default is restricted. You cannot have this inheritance here, so you cannot actually override. So those are the different access modifiers we have. I repeat it again. We have four different kinds of access modifiers: public, private, protected, and default. In a simple way, public have access all over the classes and the methods in the packages. But private is restricted only to the class. Default is restricted to the package, and protected is restricted to the package, but within the with child class reference, we can able to access even outside of the class. Yeah, that is it, guys. Thank you. If any queries or any doubts you have, you can just ping in the chat box. I'll try to answer your messages. Thank you.
Class is done. Hello, Tosin sister. Tej.